Welcome back everybody to another Icarus Mods videos. Today I'm going to go over my new Barn Buildables mod that I've been working on. This is the third Buildables mod I've done. I had the steel Buildables, the glass Buildables, and then I decided to go with a barn. With all the changes they've been making to Icarus with the animals and everything that's coming, I thought it would be a really neat idea to have a barn that you could build. I feel the game's lacking in that aspect, so I went ahead and started building a couple pieces, and the more pieces I built, the more I got into it, and then I continued to build more pieces, and this is the result. As you can see, my roof pieces actually have overhangs on them, and there is a lip on the end here that is a separately crafted item that just snaps. It snaps to the regular roof piece just to give you a little overhang like a normal barn would. I am considering making these a little bit bigger overhangs, but let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If I should make them a little bit bigger so they overhang more, or they look fine the way they are. Most of the pieces I've done are custom pieces I've built in Blender and exported into Unreal. You will recognize a couple of the existing pieces, like the railing. Even though the railing is copied from the original game's railings, I did modify them. They always have that gap right there, so I got rid of the gap, so you have a nice solid railing all the way. These angle pieces underneath here are just like the roof overhang pieces. They snap into place once you craft them. They don't really add anything as far as integrity or strength. They just add a nice look for it. And then I have the windows and the doors. So the windows are just like the regular game's windows. They do open and close, and they are craftable separately. And then my doors, I think these doors turned out really nice. And then you will notice on the inside, it is a different texture of wood. I didn't want the red in the inside because that's not the way barns look. So I did a lot of research with wood on the inside of barns, and they all seem to have this like dark oakish look. So that's what I decided to go with. And these pieces are all craftable. So these are just regular beams, and like I said, these you can pick up. They're just supports you can add in. Let me deploy one of those. See, they just snap, and you can put them on any of these wood risers, the vertical beams. You could put on any one of the sides or all the sides, and then when you click it, it just snaps in there. The floor pieces, let me show you where they're crafted at. They're all crafted on the Carpenter's benches. Let me scroll down. You can see I have a dark wood ladder. Excuse me. Trapdoor, dark wood. Interior dark wood door, and then I have the regular doors that you see me go through in the front, and then I have sliding barn doors like a traditional door. The barn window, dark wood floor, which is the floor that you see below me, and then the walls, exterior walls, and then a barn roof. That's the white painted roof, and then you also have the dark wood ramp, which would be like the interior ramps with this dark wood. Then the beams. Those are the roof overhangs that snap into place. And then those are the 45-degree supports that you can add to the vertical dark wood beams. Those are the wall angles. So I did for the exterior, you only have the 2 wall angles. I'll show you that in a minute. Then you have the dark wood angles for interior, and then you have low pitch. I added the low pitch, which gives it that nice barn look with the different pitch of roofs. Dark roof are the dark wood railings, interior dark wall, and then the dark wooden fence. These two are from my fence kit, or my fence mod that I released a while back. They've just been redone with the dark wood textures to match this interior wood. So those are all the wood pieces that are crafted on the Carpenter benches. And then you also have, I added some new lights. If you go into the fabricator bench, scroll all the way down, you'll see that there's a new barn wall light that you can craft, and barn light switches. I have a couple of those already crafted on here. I'll show you those. So these are the barn lights. That's the one version of them. And then here's the switches, so you can turn them on and off from anywhere. So those are the wall lights. These ones here, I'll turn the overheads off, turn those on, and those are all the barn lights. So you deploy them. That's the standard light as a wall light, and then when you hold R, you have a short ceiling light, which is just like a regular light like that. You can turn it on and off. And then there is a standard ceiling light, which hangs down, and that's what you'll see up here. So if you put one of those in there, you can see it hangs down a lot more. Pick that back up. And these are the two light switches. So when you deploy the light switches, the barn switch, you hold R. You have a switch for the wall lights, and then a separate switch for the ceiling lights. The two ceiling lights are not switchable separately. It will switch on all the ceiling lights. So even the standard ones and the short ones will come on with that light switch. And then the other one just does the wall lights. Those, like I said, the lights and the switches are craftable on the fabricator bench, and everything else is crafted on the Carpenter benches. So let me go over some of the pieces that I've came up with. The floor piece, when you deploy the floor piece, you hold R. You have just a regular standard floor, and then you have the half floor, which is just like a standard half floor. See there, get up here. See, it's just a standard half floor, but it's done. And like I said, these are all custom meshes that I built in Blender. And then you have your standard hole for a trapdoor, just like the other ones. And again, this is a custom mesh I built with the floor joists underneath it to try to give it like a more realistic model instead of just a solid square chunk of wood. And then the custom one I came up with, because I use these, a lot of my wiring I do below the flooring, so I did one with a center. So it puts the hole right in the center, which is what this one is here. So if you put the hole right in the center when you're building your floor pieces and you space them out like that, you can open them up, and then you have access to your water and your electric. And that's what this is here. If you open this up, you'll see the water and the electric continues on. So as far as the trap doors, let me deploy a trap door. There's two different versions. There's the standard one and then the no handle one. The ones you're looking at here are no handles. It gives it like a nice clean finish with just like the little access door. And then I have one over here which is a standard one with a handle. And you can see that has the hinge on it also. That opens and closes. So that's the floor pieces. The next thing is the walls. I'll show you the walls. So you have just a regular standard wall, which is basically just like an interior wall made out of the dark wood. This model is straight from the game, but I had to load it into Blender and redo all the textures on it and create the destructible meshes. These are custom, so this is your wall for like your animals with the cages or the bars. And these bars do have the collision for the individual bars, so if you shoot an arrow through there, it will go through there. If you place a light, you can place it up in there on the wood. There's no collision there. There is collision on the bars. You can see that. So that's the wall there. And then we have just a regular standard door. And again, this one is straight from the game. I just put it into Blender and changed all the texture mappings to make it work with the dark wood texture. And the same with the half wall. And I also added for the beams, when you deploy the beams, there is a half beam, the upper left, which I've added in some of my other mods, but I added it to this with this texture too. It's nothing fancy, it's just a half beam. So if you wanted to do like half walls and section off an area, you can. These are the exterior walls. Basically the same thing, except these are all custom. So there's the red for the outside. And then you have the doors, half wall, the left double door, right double door, window, and then the solid wall. And like I said, these are all custom models that I built. And they have all the destructibles. So, see, unlike the game's walls that are solid, this actually has structure and form to it. Just like the interior walls of all these. The windows. And all the destructible meshes I made. So when you destroy them, they break down like that. That's the walls. The roofs, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the roofs. When you craft a half pitch roof, it has the standard roof, upper and lower for the low pitch. And then you'll see another set that has a left side upper and a left side lower. And what that is, so if you're building a roof and you want it to overhang, so like this would be a low pitch and it would be a right side. So when you deploy this, you're going to want the right side lower, and that's what that is there. And as you can see, you see the line, the separate building part off to the left on that. You can kind of see it up there. It has a standard, and then it has the section off to the left. So when you put this over here, you can see it has this extra structure here, and that's what the overhang is. So when you're deploying those, that's what that means. Is that, so this would be the right side, so when you're facing from the outside and you're building, it would be on the right side. Like that. And then when you do the left side, which would be over there, you'd start out with the left lower. Left side lower, like this one here. And build out from there, and then that gives you that extra piece there as a overhang. Let me pick this one up. And then these overhangs, when you craft them, the roof overhangs, and deploy them, they snap into place. Just as soon as you get close to it, snaps. If you hold R, you have 3 different versions. You have the standard overhang, which would be like the middle pieces like this. And then you have the right overhang, and you'll notice it overhangs to the right. That's to match this overhang. And then the right one is the left overhang, which is the exact opposite. And you'll notice it doesn't snap. It will only snap to a left overhang piece. See how it snaps to that? It will only snap to that. That will prevent you from accidentally snapping to the wrong piece. So if you have a left overhang, it will snap the right piece right to it. If it doesn't snap, then you probably have the wrong piece. And this works for the standard angle roofs too. And then the other pieces on there for the pitch are just like your right wall, your half walls that you build in for these here. Up there. So that's the half pitches. Go over the regular barn roof. This has the same thing as the half pitches, but it also has a flat roof for the top. So the flat roof has the same thing. It's a standard flat roof, and then it has a left side overhang, a right side overhang, and then the roof's the same way. Roof, left side overhang, right side overhang. And these overhang pieces here will be removed. They won't be in the final version. I did have them in here originally, but when you craft the ramp, it costs a lot of wood and stuff to craft the ramp, and it just seemed like a waste. To get this little overhang, you shouldn't have to use that much material. So I made these a separate piece that snaps in there. The fence, these fence pieces are like walls. If you've ever used my fence kit, you know what I'm talking about. They're not regular railing pieces that just go anywhere. They actually snap into the building kits. And they're designed to snap right in with walls, so they fit right off of every wall piece. I'm surprised they didn't do the railings that way, but... And then if you hold R, well, not on this piece, the gate piece. So the gate has 2 pieces. You have a standard wooden gate that you could deploy. That opens, closes. And then if you have a fence piece already in here, and you want to put another one in here, there's no need for those sides. You already have a post there and a post there, so you just hold R, and then you go one without posts, and it will actually snap to this. And then you get it without the posts, so you're not rendering multiple posts overlapped. Doors, let me go over these are the slide doors. So when you open them, they slide just like a real barn door. These took a while to do, so I had to create custom animations because none of the doors in Icarus slide. So I had to create custom animations and export them from Blender into Unreal, and then get those to export properly to be usable in Icarus. I think they turned out really nice. It gives it like a real barn feel or look to it. But yeah, I really like the way these turned out. They don't have any sound yet. Waiting. It takes a lot to add in the sound to an animation when you don't have the source code. So it's something I'm working on. Hopefully eventually I can get the sound for our doors that slide. What else? I got over the light switches, the things. Oh, the ladder. So it's just a standard ladder, just like all the other ladders in the game. You can place it wherever you want and climb up it. This is like the walls, the interior walls. It's the same model as the other ladders. I just had to remove all the UV mapping and remap it to the wood texture I used. The hay bales. So there's two different types of hay bales. There's the edible hay bales, which is like a food trough. Your animals can eat out of that. And then this one here, the decorative hay bales, these are just for look. So these are cheap to craft. There's multiple different versions. There's like a mound of hay. A small mound. Oh, I'll have to look into that. Hay bales. And these are stackable. I got two different versions. They have the sideways ones, stuff. So those are just for props. The other ones I have are just like a food trough. So when you deploy them, you notice there's no hay bales there. So if you get some animal feed, you notice that disappears. Let me split this stack so they have food. So that's when you can tell that there's no food left in there, and then when you add the food to it, the hay bales will appear, showing that there's food there for them to eat. And they do eat from it, and it fills them up. You'll see when the wolf's eating from it right there. You can see once he's done eating, it goes up to 100%. I think it looks a lot nicer than just a trough there. And then I have the regular interior door, and this is also straight from the game, same model. It's just I took all the textures, mapping off of it, and added the dark wood to it. And that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys enjoy the mod. I'll do a quick fly out to the outside so you can kind of see everything.